Welcome back to the Fast Life Podcast. Thank you for your patience. We had to take a week off to get some more podcasts recorded and get ready for the Fast Life Campout. This episode is with Tony Shreds. You guys know who this guy is. He's shredding the tracks on Harleys, paving the way for everybody to get out there. You guys should follow him and as well check out our sponsor, Simpson motorcycle helmets. They've been keeping me safe for years now, and they can do the same thing for you and actually make you look cooler. Trust me. Check them out, simpsonmotorcyclehelmets.com, as well as Simpson Motorcycle Helmets on Instagram. S&S has everything you need to crank out power from your motorcycle's engine, from exhaust systems to air cleaners and everything in between. Check them out at sscycle.com and on the gram at sscycle. And if you want to, check out their podcast, Performance Times, I believe is the name of it, from S&S Cycles. Check them out. Lexin Moto has an intercom system for you, the all-new G16. It's a group rider's long-awaited answer to an affordable intercom system. It is a 16-rider comm system, Bluetooth 5.0, and music sharing to keep your group connected while traveling together. This is another great product from the team at Lexin, geared at making motorcycle rides and travel more enjoyable. Check it out at lexin-moto.com, where you can apply the Fast Life offer code, which will save you 15%. And as always, you can rest assured that Lexin backs up all their products with the best customer service in the industry. My guys over at thundermax has your EFI-equipped Harley-Davidson covered with their high-quality auto-tuning ECMs. I've been running thundermax on all my fuel-injected bikes since 2015 and have laid down thousands of hard, wet, nasty miles with their ECMs. They keep me running smooth, and I also run their oil cooler fan, which is available for the M8 touring models, which took my 131 motor from operating temperatures in the high 300s to the low 300s. You can check out all these products at shoptmax.com and use offer code FASTLIFE for 10% off, and follow these guys on Instagram at thundermaxefi. Letric Lighting Co. has your bike covered from headlight to taillight with a ton of LED lighting options for many different Harley-Davidson models. All lighting is backed by great warranties and plug-and-play options, so you can't go wrong with making the switch or stepping up to Letric Lighting Co. NAM's Custom Cycle products since 1999 has been offering American-made wiring products for all things V-twin, and Badlands for over 30 years has been offering the most reliable and dependable lighting modules in the USA. Backed by a lifetime warranty, you can find out more about these great companies at namscustomcycleproducts.com. And you can drop the FL 2021 offer code, which gives you free shipping on orders over $100. Check them out. Yeah, the Campout was wild. We had so many people riding from across the country to partake in this event in horrible weather conditions. And we still had the biggest turnout we've ever had. We had a full day of rain one day, actually a full night of rain, which ironically, everybody partied in the rain until the rain stopped and then they went to bed. It made no sense. It was a good time. And I'm not going to talk too much about it because we're going to be doing a podcast about it later on this week. This podcast, however, is with Tony Shreds. He is literally one of the pioneers, in my opinion, and I think most people's opinion, in the Harley racing track game. You guys should be following him at Tony Shreds. And, I'm sure you're pretty much checking out all the stuff he's got with Shred Moto Co. and all the things he's been doing for the Bagger Racing League. And you probably saw him on the King of Baggers race too. So let's get into this podcast with my boy Tony. Here we go.
Hey guys, you ready to let the dogs out?
Fast Life Podcast.
Deal situation last time, but this is even smaller.
Yeah, last time the door was open and we were hearing shit outside and everything. But it's all good.
At least it'll be quiet in here.
Yeah, it's quiet.
This was supposed to be my grow room.
Your grow room?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I stopped.
I see the ceiling plugs for the lights.
It was gonna be a small little grow, and then I had another room built in here. Mm-hmm. It was 4 foot wide, 4 or 5 foot wide.
Yeah.
Another veg room. This was gonna be my grow room with but I said, you know what? We fucking closed the shop and just moved everything in here. So.
Yeah, I mean, it seemed like the shop was just kind of like a hangout anyway, right?
Yeah. It turned into that. Yeah.
It turned into it real quick.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, last time we came in, you know, I remember sitting down with you and you were talking about, I mean, this was January of 2020. I mean, the year got fucked, right?
Yeah.
But because that bagger race that, you know, the Moto America thing was supposed to take place in June, I believe. Or
It got postponed.
Yeah.
Absolutely, yeah.
And, you know, because you were talking about, man, I'm going to be racing on Laguna Seca, blah, blah, blah. And I remember you were super hyped about all that shit, man.
Yeah.
So how was it early on, you know, getting prepared for this? I mean, when did you know that you were going to be riding for Speed Merchant and they started building a bike and, you know, that whole behind the scenes kind of thing?
I got a phone call
Uh-huh.
like 4.5 weeks before the race.
Uh-huh.
And was like, hey, Tony, you want to ride the bike?
Mm.
And I'm like, yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
The rider that was supposed to ride it, actually, a couple riders actually backed out for personal reasons, or they had other priorities or something, right?
Yeah.
But there was one rider, I can't remember the guy's name, and I don't even remember the second guy's name, but they both said they couldn't do it.
Yeah.
And the owner of Speed Merchant said, fine, you know what? I'm calling my dude. I want him to ride it. He wanted me to ride it anyways, but he has partners in that build, I guess.
Yeah.
You know, so it ended up
Working out.
it ended up working out, dude.
Yeah.
You know, I wrote that off a long time ago, like, oh, these guys are gonna go race Harleys without me.
Yeah.
You know, but I was still stoked for it. I was stoked because I didn't even race baggers, so I was like,
That was a new experience. Yeah.
absolutely. You know,
How
so,
different was that compared to the Dyna and the Softail that you've been building for the last couple?
honestly, bro, not that different.
It wasn't?
No, I mean that bike right there. I'm doing very similar lap times with like my race bob and that bike. I mean, you know, it's very impressive. The first time I test rode that thing, I was like, whoa,
Yeah.
this is a bagger.
Yeah.
You know, but no, I had never really even spent time on a bagger. Really, you know what I mean? Like I've always had a Dyna and then the Softail.
Yeah.
And so when the whole King of Baggers thing happened, and I wasn't going to race in it, and I was you know, I was kind of like, whatever. I mean, I'm racing my Softail, and good for them. But I'm stoked to see Harleys on. I just want to see Harleys on the track. So of course I'm stoked, right? But yeah, when he called me a month before, I think he was on the way back from like Four Corners motorcycle rally or something. He was literally driving in the car, had just got the phone call from the guy, and he's like, dude, what do you think? And I'm like, absolutely. Like, no way am I going to not do that, you know?
Yeah,
So,
you know, for me, it's like I was telling all my friends back home, I was like, I know that guy on the TV right there. I know that dude. He's number 50, right?
150.
150. I was like,
yeah.
I know that guy. But then, of course, on the video, the actual race,
Yeah.
it was just they were front runners the whole time.
Yeah, and that's how it is.
Yeah, I didn't remember it being like that, but yeah, it was surreal seeing it. But like, I mean, that whole year going by, I mean, you were still. Were you even able to go to the tracks at all during the year, or how was that working with everything?
Like what? Oh yeah, during COVID.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, no, the tracks didn't shut down.
That's cool.
Yeah, we were going to race
completely
tracks.
essential, right?
Totally essential, and you know what? I heard that in the desert, like that stuff doesn't even exist.
Yeah, pretty much.
Out there in the middle of nowhere, you can't get you.
Exactly.
You know, so
it only catches you between the front door of a restaurant and when you sit down.
Yes,
that's the only time.
Yes,
yeah,
the only time. But yeah, no, dude, we've been out doing racetrack stuff. You know, and that's right, because now thinking back, like, okay, it was October, and that was like the year that COVID started, right? And it had been a long time before, you know, since anybody had raced professionally, or that was like one of the first races that came back.
Yeah.
Like that you could watch, and like, you know, it was
because they weren't even letting anybody in the facility.
No, it was only like people that were part of the teams and media and stuff like that. Yeah.
Yeah, because you could see all the fences were lined with people and shit like that.
Yeah, or campers. You could camp there.
Yeah.
Apparently, I found out once we were there, you could camp that. You can't go watch the race, but you can camp there and then watch from your campsite. So those were like campers that reserved camping spots, and they reserved only so many or whatever. You know what I mean?
I guess if you're in a camper, it's got to be 100-foot social distancing. or something like that. Maybe.
I don't know. We were all lined up next to each other, so I don't know. But it was so awesome, dude. That was an epic experience. You know,
it looked badass. I mean, like I said, it just seems like it'd be so crazy watching like the last X amount of years of your life. Sorry, Red Bulls. Just doing this stuff for fun and as a hobby, a labor of love, and then finally seeing it start to. I mean, it's kind of been sweeping across the nation for a while. There's so many pockets of dudes across the country kind of jumping on the board with what you guys were doing out here and stuff like that. And
the world,
the world,
the whole world, man.
For real,
there's people all over the world.
Nice.
I mean, and the guys in Japan, it's no secret. Those guys have been out there racing Harleys for a while now.
Oh shit, I didn't even know that.
Oh yeah. There's a few guys in Japan that have been turning their Sportsters and FXRs and stuff and Dynas. They've been, I think, since like 2014 or 15. So when we were out there in canyons shredding and chasing each other, like those fools were already on the track, I'm pretty sure.
Damn.
But
they got a lot of tracks out there though.
Yeah. And those guys, like, they got, I mean, and they build sick bikes. There's a few different guys out there, and they race them. So
yeah.
And it looks like they have like an actual Harley race. I don't know. Maybe it's all XR 1200s. I'm not sure. But the videos that we've seen, there's Harleys racing. So that was kind of like I always thought, like, dude, if these guys can do it in Japan, like, why aren't we doing it out here? Like, what the, like, why are we in canyons? Well, these guys are at racetracks, but until I figured out we could go to tracks. But anyways, that's a whole nother story. But to see it all freaking come together, bro, it's been surreal.
Yeah.
Let's just put it that way, dude. I freaking, like, we've been out there trying to push this down people's throats and come on out to the racetrack and put on a leather suit, you know, and people are like, what the fuck? You're tripping, dude.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go, I don't want to scratch my I'm not messing up my Harley, bro.
Yeah.
That's too nice for the racetrack. And we're like, wait a minute. You're more likely to crash on the street.
Yeah, exactly.
And fuck up that pretty bike, you know?
Exactly.
So
especially in these canyons.
But like Moto America really jump started that whole thing, I feel like. The King of the Baggers thing, like, it made it like real, because it was just me, Shred Moto Co. and a few of us out there doing this, and just a couple of crazy dudes on Harleys, like, why, what the hell are they doing? And then all of a sudden made it like a cool thing. I don't know. I'm just like,
I think it was a natural progression. I mean, everybody's been talking about performance, everything forever. Yeah. And then you guys were pretty much just like, put your money where your mouth is kind of situation. Right. You know what I mean? And I think we all naturally want to be better at riding in general. What a track can provide, taking like, doing track days all over the country and shit. But it felt good. Because we all say we ride hard, right? I mean, I get ape hanger dudes telling me they fucking smash canyons all the time in Kansas, and but just seeing it actually happen and seeing it, like, just the amount of media, especially after the recent BRL with like the drone that was chasing everybody, and
that thing was like inches from my face, bro.
For real?
Yeah.
How do you like?
It was such a trip.
Yeah. It's the amount of coverage on it, like, it's like starting to look very, for lack of a better term, romantic. Like, I can imagine, like, there's a few photos of you where you're just in the apex of a corner, real famous ones. I feel like if we're ever going to have like the NBA sign of this, it's kind of got to be that photo of you leaned over in that corner on that bagger. You know what I mean? That should be the red, white, and blue fucking, patch logo that comes on everything. But it's just been dope seeing all the coverage come of it, and it's something exciting and new in Harley. Yeah. You know what I mean? And it might not be new to you, but it's like finally in everybody's face. You know what I'm saying? So
it wasn't just my 3,000 people on social media that were reaching and shit. You know what I mean? Like, I felt like for a while, like, we couldn't even get people to repost it. You know what I mean? We couldn't. It was just like, oh, these guys are out racing again. Cool. Yeah. And everyone was interested in it, but it was not reachable. I was trying to make it reachable for, you know what I mean? But like, there was no. I don't know, and
was no traction yet.
Yeah, it just wasn't like the whole BRL thing really made it attractive to all kinds of riders now. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like the Moto America thing, that was all King of the Baggers, that was all bagger bikes. Yeah, which is cool, but there's like
There's a lot of other bikes.
I race a race bob. You know, where's my bike fit in? You know what I mean? So like, dude, like with the BRL and having these different classes and allowing all these different kind of Harley riders to come in and race. Like now people are like, oh, dude, we got guys showing up at tracks. They were there yesterday. There's guys there today getting at Button Willow out there riding. I just saw pictures when I was at work.
Yeah.
But like, dude, these guys are coming up from up north. All these guys are doing their track days and doing their curriculum to get out to go race in Utah.
Yeah.
But, you know, no one, you know, it wasn't even, there was nothing to go race, you know, up until recently when we got the American Twins class at CVMA. So that happened a couple months ago. So up until then, we were racing against sport bikes, you know. But
so
now,
you had to wait till you got enough people to have a class, though, right?
Yeah.
And that's cool.
So after the BRL thing, this last month we had 9 Harleys line up on the grid.
Nice.
And we couldn't even get more than 2 out there.
That's cool.
For like 4 years. You know, but actually had their race licenses and racing, like a full legit race. So 9 Harleys.
What's the process for the race license? Like, what's the steps basically?
Okay, so the steps are, you come out to the racetrack, you bring your bike, you bring your gear, you come out, and basically for a track day, all you got to do is tape up your lights and your mirrors, or remove them, one or the other. That's just in case if you do crash, they don't want glass all over the place, whatever.
Yeah.
So for just a basic track day, you come out there, you learn what you need to do, you get a feel for it. So you're going to do that a few times, right? If you're an experienced rider and you go out there and shred canyons and you're just like, you really know how to ride, you'll be able to go do your race license after a handful of track days. Yeah. Because what you need to do is know how to be on the track. You need to make sure you don't act like an idiot and kill somebody, because that's really all that matters. Is they want to make sure you know the procedure of getting on the track, getting off the track. You know what the flags are. You're not going to just see a red flag and stop in front of somebody and have them crash. Smash it, You know what I mean? So they just want to make sure you know the stuff. So if you already are really good at riding and you're pretty confident, you know, considering we're going to be racing against a lot of amateur riders that are new to the sport as well, it's not going to be you're not going to be too far out of the way, you know, or you're going to be right there with everybody mixing it up. And that's what's pretty cool is because like with the BRL thing, we got the pro class, which is the Bagger GP thing. It's all going to be expert racers and the big name guys, blah blah blah. Same kind of shit as the King of Baggers, but it's got the pro stock class, which now allows you to have your amateur license. Yeah. So after you go to the track a few times, you sign up for a new racer school, new racer or they call it a few different things. Not new racer organization, new racer orientation, new racer school. Anyways, so these track days, and they're normally the day before a race. A track day puts on a practice and they do a race school as well. So you sign up for that, you go through the class, you go on the track. When you get off the track, you go into the classroom, the guy coaches you, tells you what's going on. Hey, you're riding like an asshole, you need to stay here, you need to do this, this is, you know, this is the apex here. You got a problem in this corner, try this. So you do that throughout the day. At the end of the day, you do a mock-up race. Everybody lines up, does like 3 laps, racing each other. As long as you don't crash, hurt somebody, or get thrown off the track for completely doing something wrong, then you pass the class, and now you have your amateur racing license. Okay. To race, and that'll get you in a race at club level, CVMA, AFM. CSS, I think it is, on the East Coast, or CCS. And the BRL is working with them and getting them organized and getting Harley guys an opportunity to have track days out there on the East Coast as well. And they have like 12 different tracks. That's cool. So we're trying to work with all these different organizations and get these guys their racing license, their amateur license at least. So for this level racing at the BRL, they want you to have like 6 race starts. And most places you can go on a weekend and get at least 4.
Oh, for real?
Yeah.
That's cool.
So like CVMA, you can take your Harley out there. We got a bunch of new guys coming on the 26th. That's the next new racer school.
Yeah.
So there's going to be a few more guys there on the 26th. They will do their racer school shit. They're going to race that weekend as well. But forgot what I was talking about. But so the new guys will be coming out there, and so when they pass, they will be racing as well. Mm-hmm. And we're going to have, I mean, the same 9 guys are going to be out there from last month. Mm-hmm. And we're hoping to have like at least another 5 or 6. And so with that being said, so on the 27th and 28th, the Harley guy can sign up for 2 classes per day. Mm-hmm. Which those are the only 2 classes that the Harley fits in, which is Formula Twins, unlimited displacement twin bikes. Yeah. But we're racing against like FZ07s and different sport bikes, right? Yeah. But there's also the American Twins. You can go sign up for both of those, and it's the same idea with different race organizations, right? Yeah. But this is just CVMA. So you sign up for both those classes, do 2 races Saturday, 2 races Sunday. There's 4 race starts. You got to go. You got to go get 2 more in the following weekend or another weekend, and you got 6 race starts. Boom! You can go race at this event.
So there's plenty of time for a lot of people to get their set up to go and
and we're working on videos right now. I just was doing a video on Friday to show people what they need for race suits, mm-hmm. For gear and stuff you need for your bike. Now for racing on the bike is a whole nother story. You need more than just the lights, right? So you need to have your really critical fasteners safety wired. But they give you when you go out there and do your racer school and you stay and race that weekend, they might give you a pass. Say, hey, put some RTV on the bolts to make sure they don't back off. There's a few things like safety wiring the oil filter and a drain pan and stuff like that you have to have. Mm-hmm. But like for the most part, they'll let you race that weekend. Just because they don't want to send you home because you don't have the right stuff. Yeah. We're trying to get everybody to have the right stuff right off the bat. That's what our goal is. But not every, these Harleys were very limited to some of this stuff. So, mm-hmm. But yeah, you can literally go. It might take you a few months, maybe take you. I mean, I didn't get my racer's license for 2 years.
Yeah, but it's kind of good though because it's giving you track time. Yeah. And, that's kind of more important than just jumping on a track.
Exactly, yeah.
I mean, I kind of got the gist of that up front because, like, you're, especially on a bagger, right? You got a big, heavy, even stripped down, it's still heavy. Yeah. And it's like a big fucking torpedo if someone doesn't know how to handle it on a track.
That everybody going into the fucking turn 1 at the same time?
Yeah.
So.
Well, you were part of that once. How was that?
I sucked. I freaking wheelied 3 times on the start, and I was in the back.
So
was
that start kind of like the drag race, basically, to get out front? Or
yeah. And I messed up. I'm like, oh, this shouldn't be too different than my Fat Bob. Mm-hmm. I race the Fat Bob every freaking weekend, almost every weekend it seemed like, right? Yeah. It's totally different. Hydraulic clutch, 131. Mm-hmm. That thing's a beast, bro. And it's I'm still trying. I was practicing last race weekend. All 3 of my races, I was practicing starts, and I'm just like couldn't get it down. I freaking started in second gear on one of my races just to see like, okay, I'm just second gear, hammer down, wheelied the whole straightaway, and then put it down and went into turn 1. But
and that's the Speed Merchant bike. That thing's all lightweight everywhere.
618 pounds.
Damn, that is wild. So whenever you actually finally did the bagger race, or the Moto America one, how was like doing those hot those laps that before, what were they called, those things?
Like a warm up lap.
Like warm up laps when y'all were kind of doing some laps and tuning and testing and shit. Yeah. I mean, just being able to ride on that track. I mean, what was that like?
Wow, bro, that was a fucking epic experience, bro. I've never been to that track. I played it on MotoGP on my PlayStation for months. riding my stationary bike.
Yeah.
I'd be playing that. I'd be racing on Laguna Seca for hours, bro.
Trying to find a line.
Yeah, just trying. No, and like, dude, watching videos, and then like, I swear to you, I literally did what I learned in the video and did it on the racetrack on the video. I'm like, whoa, it works.
Yeah.
So I tried, and I literally had an idea of the racetrack, a virtual idea of the racetrack before I got there. That's all I had.
Yeah.
So,
I used to play Gran Turismo like a motherfucker on that track.
Dude, that track is so... and when you see the corkscrew in person, bro, you're like, damn, that really is
How bad does
stories.
it throw you off, though? Like it just seems like a fuckery of time, space.
It is. It totally is, bro. It is like the first time I turned right way too soon.
Oh shit.
Yeah, and I ended up in the grate. Like there's like a grate like in the green. Or I don't know. Like I was off the racetrack, bro. Yeah. I went left and then went right too quick. Like you gotta drag knee for a second and then just get on the gas and go like you're literally dropping. I feel like I'm dropping into a...
So you said it's 3 stories.
Yes.
That's how... Damn.
Yeah.
And that's quick too.
Yeah, it's at least 3 stories. Yeah.
Fuck.
Yeah.
Yeah, it seemed, because when I played in the video game,
yeah, it tells you that in the video game. Actually,
I just shoot through it, man. Like I just launch myself. I can usually lap somebody right there.
Yeah. That's dude. Yeah, you would launch. If you go straight off that thing, you will
It's
fly.
a pretty fast track though. What kind of speeds were you getting up to on that thing?
I got up to I think 117 on the straightaway.
For real?
Yeah. So and that was just like. I could have gone way faster. That was just me being a pussy. But like, dude, I being on the track was an epic experience, but being on the track with some of these riders that were like professionals and like champions, you know what I mean? Like I shit you not, I thought I had a chance. I thought I really was like, oh, I'm gonna be up there, dude. Like even though I don't know this track, I should have a 1-up because I've been racing Harleys and I wasn't like gonna be like, oh, I'm gonna win this fucking thing. Of course I want to, but I wasn't like, that delirious. Yeah. But I was like, dude, I should have, I feel pretty confident in racing a Harley.
Yeah.
Dude, these fucking guys were flying, bro. And Tyler O'Hara, Hayden Gillum. When Josh Heron's bike wasn't dying out, it was cool to ride with him too.
Yeah.
But like, dude, these fucking guys were flying, bro. I'd be getting on the racetrack and they'd be coming down the straightaway, backing it into turn 1 or turn 2.
Yeah.
And I'm just I'm going like 50, getting on the track, and these fools are doing like 100 something with the sideways, and I'm like, yeah, bro, these fuckers know how to ride. They're professionals, bro. And it's crazy. And it just goes to show. It doesn't matter what bike you're on, bro. And I've been telling that to people that I know. And I don't know how I didn't think that it would be the same for these guys, but they were flying, bro. And then what that did was make me push myself. It was like, wait a minute.
It's kind of like if you see someone hitting the canyon in front of you, then you feel like you can follow their line or at least like try to suck them up a little bit.
So, and what that did was, and that track has a lot of blind corners. It has a lot of look at the sky and hope that you hit the right, hit it at the right time.
Yeah.
And, which is turn 1, the straightaway, and also the corkscrew. Yeah. Like coming up to the corkscrew, it's blind. You just have to
you just see the crest of the road.
And from the videos that I watched, you aim for the thing that goes over the track. You aim for the second one over, and you just fucking pin it. And you got to, it's like you literally got to hit it at the right time. Yeah. So and to be faster, you have to be like, oh, I can't see where I'm going. Just keep, you have to say, I can't see where I'm going, and then hold on for another 5 seconds.
The longest 5 seconds ever.
Maybe not 5 seconds. It's a couple seconds, but you're just like, oh, dude, okay, boom, and then
drop.
All right, yeah. So, but that transferred over to my racing at Chuckwalla. All of a sudden, these corners that aren't as blind, but they're still kind of, dude, I'm just
railing.
I'm just on the gas and just really trusting myself more because I rode with those guys. That's what I feel like. You know what I mean? And like, because I got to race at that with that level of riders, dude, and it was fucking cool, man. You know?
Yeah, I mean, like,
scary as hell.
Yeah,
but it was cool.
That track, man, it's amazing. Like, you know, man, I couldn't even imagine that corkscrew, just the straightaways, all this, and just the whole track, that whole thing. Like, I remember watching it and just seeing it all. It just seemed like a, like you said, surreal event. Just even witness it, and then the riding and the speed of the shit, and like, so how do you feel about like all the products on the bike? Like, really, those kind of high speeds coming in with that type of braking required to kind of get the kind of times you need, suspension, all this stuff. It's like, these last couple of podcasts, when this stuff comes up, I'm like, I don't think that all the products that are out there are there yet, but because of this, I think we're going to get some amazing parts out of it. Because when has Harley's ever been pushed to this limit,
bro? With
a sellable background for it.
Amen to that, bro. This is I've been in the industry, you know, since 2008, and that's all I've ever wanted to do is race my Harley, you know. And I noticed, and you're coming around the racetrack and watching all these guys and being pitted next to these guys and all these sport bike guys. They're all trying to be like MotoGP, Moto America. They're trying to be like the pros. Yeah. Well, who the fuck am I supposed to look up to? Yeah. that's the way I look at it. Like, who the fuck? Wait, who? You know? Yeah. Now there's something to fucking. Oh, I want my bike like so and so's. You know what I'm saying? Now, I need so and so's part because that's the fucking guy that won the race. Yeah. Or I need that fucking thing's pretty cool. Like, hey, you see the part on number so and so. Now you got guys putting number plates on their bikes because they want to be like the fucking. Oh yeah. Okay. Like, these guys are buying plastics by the $1,000. Like, they're spending a couple $1,000s to have their plastics look like their favorite racer.
That's dope.
You know. So why is there not something like that for Harleys? That's why I always looked at it. Like, there is for flat track. You know, the Harleys are about racing. It's always. Hey, yeah, we're on fucking tractors, okay? If the Moto America guys, we're on a tractor compared to what the fuck you're on, you know? But we love our tractors, and they're fucking fast, and they're fun. Yeah. You know, like, we can still have fun on them, regardless of what you think about our bikes. And that proved that to everybody at the King of the Baggers. Yeah. And that's what we did as a Harley, as this V-twin community. Yeah, that's what the V-twin community did. It wasn't about Moto America. It wasn't about anybody. It was about the companies that came together and really made this happen, dude. Because we are all of us are the Harley community, and that's what really brought this together. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, man. I mean, shit. You could tell they probably. I mean, everybody. I mean, fuck, everybody's laughed at Harleys being on a track for a long time. But I've always said, man, or I've always thought, like, it's not so much about like how fast something is. There's fun in it, right? I mean, look at the car world. There's classes for everything, even down to Fiats. You know what I'm saying?
Bro, you ever been to the figure 8 races where they weld fucking plates to the back rims of cars and drive around and try to slide? Like, there's races like that. Those fools are racing.
Dude, fucking people race on foot, bro.
Yeah, you know what I mean? People are racing, dude. Like, you can race anything.
But it's fun. I think that, you know, there's so many Harleys out there. And just to have them on a track doing that as well, and not just the drag racing stuff, and it's just it was a natural. It's crazy it took this long to get there. I mean, I know we've had the Buells on the track before back in the day, but
and the XR 1200s, you know, it was a whole thing. But with that being said, I mean, I love that Harleys were on a racetrack, right? But a lot of the racers that race those things will tell you it was a sport bike. It was a slower sport bike. That's all it is, and it's badass. It's a badass. It's a Harley that you can go fucking race sport bikes with. Yeah. But you can only go to a certain level, and then it doesn't have the intensity of a fucking hot rod. Yeah. What's in the garage over there is a hot rod. those bikes that were on Moto America, you know, these bikes that we're building for this shit they're hot rods.
Yeah.
They're big badass motorcycles that don't belong on the racetrack. And we try to make them as fast as we can and go have at it.
Yeah.
That's what this shit's about. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it's gonna be rad, dude. You know.
So the King of the Baggers takes place, and you know, you're on it. A lot of people are out there. I mean, after it, did you start getting like sponsors, or were people looking at you, or was it kind of like?
No, I mean, dude, I've even before we were racing, I've been fucking sending out sponsor packets.
Yeah, I remember you talking about that. Yeah,
I've been, and it was for, you know, I was trying to create a little race team. I was trying to corner the market and you know, be like, hey guys, we got a Harley race team with no budget. But no, and we did pretty good. We had sponsors. There's a lot of them that have been sponsoring us for a long time, and even since the beginning. But no, there wasn't a bunch of sponsors or a bunch of deals that I got once Moto America happened. But it's been, you know.
I mean, you were just doing the thing with Alloy Art too, right? How was that? Just, I saw the video with them videoing it. It's like, how hard can you actually curve when you have to stay at 30 miles an hour to get the video?
It was more of a video. They were product testing a few parts.
Yeah.
So it wasn't really and it was more of a, what we were doing out there was more for like a instructional video kind of thing.
Okay, so that's what that was.
So it was like instructional as far as gear, as far as you know. So I'm sure it'll look pretty cool once it's edited up and stuff. But it wasn't like I wasn't out there smashing it. And, you know what I mean? It was just to have the bike on a road, and you know, they were smashing. Like it was more fun watching them. You know what I mean? Yeah. In the back of that truck, trying to like not roll around and shit. But it was
big ass gimbals and shit trying to hold.
Yeah. He did a great job, dude. That was fucking rad. But yeah, you can only go so fast on a canyon road.
So after this, once
in the rain, by the way,
it's been nasty here. So as this, after the show, we hit the holidays, or the race, we hit the holidays, and then out of nowhere, you know, you guys already had this stuff planned at Chuckwalla, and then it's quickly snowballed into this.
Yeah, we were gonna do. We said, you know what, we had a date that was offered to us, and they said, hey, you guys get some V twins out here, some Harleys, and see what happens. It ended up a few meetings later, a few talks and discussions later, it turned into the 25th. What happened on the 25th, which was the V Twin track days and the BRL announcement. So, yes, it absolutely snowballed. Like it went from let's try to get as many guys signed up as we can to all of a sudden, hey, we're gonna announce some shit and you know, and let the world know what's going down, and we're like, okay, man, let's do it. You know, and dude, it was a blast. I mean, it was raining and hailing and like 50-mile-an-hour winds, but when that stopped, people got on the racetrack, they fucking loved it, dude. Yeah, it was. I mean, we got people coming back for more.
The footage, like I said, we kind of rehashing on what we said earlier, man. The footage was just badass. I mean, think about it. Like, you've been on the track forever, and there's usually a lot of photographers on the tracks out there catching shit. But when you get like all these people coming out to get media for this, like just the amount of content that then gets dispersed through the social media platforms, it's like it's gonna help all this shit grow exponentially. Absolutely. You know what I mean?
And that badass footage really helped.
Yeah,
because dude, that was like, I mean, there's no way we could have ever done that. Yeah, like with just us. Yeah, I mean, that was a whole production. You know what I mean? With that big rig screen there.
So the BRL, they're planning on having all that stuff too, where we'll be able to basically watch the races similar to the way the Moto America was and everything.
Oh, it's gonna be, you're gonna be able to attend it.
True.
Yeah, and. But it's gonna be on TV. It's gonna be it's gonna be one badass event. Yeah, it's gonna be a V Twin event for the weekend. You know, it's got a little bit of everything. It's V-twin related. So we got, like I said, the Bagger GP. Those are going to be the big, the big teams that are racing, and which is like, I want to be like, I still want to be like them, because you know what I mean. I'm going to be racing in that race, but I still want to be like these guys, bro, because the guys that I'm racing against are like champions. Yeah. These guys are still champions, whether they're on a Harley or not. Like, they still know how to ride. Yeah. And I respect the hell out of them, because before I was like, oh, sport bike. No, these fools can ride motorcycles, bro. Mm-hmm. They had about as much seat time on those baggers as I did on that bagger. Mm-hmm. They smoked my ass. So, I mean, the ones that finished did. Just, you know what I mean?
What was the dude's name with the orange on the orange Vance and Hines? It was
Hayden Gillum.
That shit was just insane to watch.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. On the one, he was 131 in that one as well. And then, I'll be honest with you, I'm not a huge Indian fan, but it's pretty insane to see. It wasn't insane to see. It was just. It's to be expected, I guess. Yeah. With that type of motor, you can just go a lot further with it.
Well, and let's just put it this way, bro. Anybody that knows racing, then that if you come prepared and you come, it's a whole nother story. Indian came prepared. Let's just say, you know what I'm saying? Like, they weren't fucking around. We're showing up there, hey, let's go participate and have fun. My team wants to fucking be a part of the show, and dude, Speed Merchant has been around racing, Harley racing, and V-twin. Like, of course he wants to be a part of it, but it wasn't like, cutthroat. Like, we gotta fucking win, go out there. Yeah. Like, we weren't stressing about it. You know what I mean? Like,
I heard it was originally was just like an exhibition that turned into a.
Yeah, it turned into a full blown like we're out there chilling just with the Speed Merchant Easy Up and like getting I got like Brandon, Rucci, Allen are in there. Like, dude, that's my pit crew, right? Like, these guys don't road race or not. They're not a pit crew. They work at Speed Merchant, bro. You know what I mean? Like, Indian rolls up with like dudes in suits, like, you know what I mean? They're
white gloves.
They're legit. Like, hey, I got to give it to them. They came legit, dude. Mm-hmm. And but I heard that bike had 17-inch shocks on it, dude, and I was like, no wonder why he could turn so fast.
So were you actually starting to ground out?
I was sliding primary all the way through turn 2. I couldn't, and I was and through turn 2, 3, 4, 5. Mm-hmm. In the race, I thought I got meatballed. Mm-hmm. I thought the meatball was for me because I was dripping primary fluid everywhere. Mm. So I was mentally backed off and was like, oh, is it for me? It was for someone completely different, but they didn't throw the number for the other bike. Yeah. I was by myself, so I was like, oh, it's for sure for me. Yeah. And I had just shredded that primary so gnarly that, like,
That's scary too, because that primary could easily turn into a balancing point, basically, where or a seesaw, How do you overcome that, though?
Brandon, if you're listening to this, turn it off.
Yeah.
Last race, I found that tipping point. Okay. Uh-huh. I hit the primary, or the tire slid out. I'm not sure, but I did hit the primary, and the bike. It almost bucked me off. Mm. It felt like the bike was twisting. Yeah. And I was just along for the ride. Yeah. So, but it's because I was in a left corner, fully leaned over, and I think maybe it was an older tire. Actually, the same tire I raced at Laguna Seca with. Mm-hmm. And I think it may be that, but it may have been the primary. Mm. But dude, it slid out, caught, and just like.
I wonder if people were in development of trying to figure that out, because that's a big important part of the motor that needs to get solved to basically clear this issue. Because I mean, you're hitting primary way before you hit a bag, right?
Yeah.
And I mean, you can keep going higher, but you're still going to eventually run back into the primary.
Yeah, but you're going to run out of tire. If you get the right combination, you'll run out of tire before primary.
Okay.
And you don't need to lean any farther. Mm-hmm. I scrape primary when I start getting tired. Okay. When I'm in a race and I'm starting to and I can't lean off as far as I can, like, homie, I'm getting it. You know what I mean? I was in the last race weekend, I was on the bagger and I passed the XR 1200, and I hit primary, and fucking and he was like, "Oh, dude, you almost thought you were gonna eat shit." I was like, "Me too." And that was gnarly. It wasn't as gnarly as when I almost got bucked off, but I was getting it, and I literally just tapped the prime. It wasn't the tire that gave way. It was the primary that just boom, boom. Yeah. But it was because I was working, you know, and dude, it becomes an issue. You know what I mean? But we're still working. We're still working on that. You know what I mean? So this is all in development stages.
Yeah, like I said, the development of everything.
The Indian bikes, they had special cases made for them and shit. It was, you know, they put a lot of time and effort into those bikes, and we are too. You know what I mean?
So Indian itself, because I mean, one of them was the S&S bike, right? But Indian themselves were out there.
One was a Roland Sands and one was S&S.
Okay.
But Indian was
back in both.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, they cheated.
Hey, bro, I don't care.
Yeah.
Like you can have that all day, homie. We're still out there having fun on our Harleys.
Yeah, for sure.
I'm not going and buying an Indian because Tyler O'Hara beat me on an Indian.
Yeah.
I'm taking those 13.5-inch shocks off, raising that fucking bike up, and I'm coming for you, Tyler O'Hara.
There you go.
Which I told him at the race, I'm coming for. Like, he thought it was funny. He probably thought it was funny too, but I am coming for him. You know what I mean? But that's a racer's mentality. You know what I mean? And I got mad respect for the dude. He's a talented rider, and you know, it's racing.
Yeah.
Like it's bottom line racing, bro. That's it.
Yeah.
You know, cool. Indian won. Guess what? We're gonna go out there and do it again.
Yeah.
You know, but
I think we all expected a little bit more out of the Saddleman bike.
Yeah.
That thing was just so pretty and looked like just a piece of marveled engineering.
Yes.
Never got. I don't even.
He thought he was meatballed too.
For real?
Yeah.
Is that what it was? Yeah.
Yeah. He got off the track. Yeah. He actually got off the track. Wooly got off the track because I think he thought maybe he was tired. I don't know, but maybe I believe that because him and the mullet were battling it out for a bit, and then they were like a turn or two in front of me, so I could see them every once in a while. And I'm just trying to catch him, scraping primary. I'm like, oh, dude, go on. But no, then I see Wooly get off, and I'm like, fuck, was it him that got the... So they were a couple turns ahead of me, so when I went by the meatball, there was nobody, I was by myself.
Yeah.
So, of course, I'm assuming it was me. No, well, he thought the same thing, and got off, but I kept going. But I was like, I didn't see the meatball in the next corner, so I'm going. You know what I mean? But... It's still a mental mind fuck, bro. Because you're on TV, you're on fucking, like, there's all these, like, you're coming up this hill and there's a guy raising his hand. I'm like, why is this guy raising his hand, bro? But he's like part of the camera crew, you know what I mean? So I don't know if it was something to do with but it's like, what the fuck is this guy raising his hand for? Straight primary. It was intense, you know what I mean? Like, it was a crazy, like, homie, you're like...
Everything's out there. You're like, why is that dude looking at me? What's going on? It's like the most high paranoia.
What are these fucking guys over here? Like, you know, so, no, it was like... Well, no, it's just because, like, you don't want to fuck up. You know what I mean? Like, I don't want to be the guy to fuck up the racetrack. And, oh, hey, that's the guy that spilled primary fluid all over the fucking Laguna Seca. You know, that's what I was thinking.
Yeah, yeah.
So instead of racing, I was thinking about... being the guy spilling primary.
How hard was it doing 8 laps? Is that like an ideal?
I think we did 6. Did we do 8?
I thought it was 8.
We might have done 8.
Yeah.
I can't even remember, dude. But actually, it was 8, wasn't it? Mm-hmm. That's why half of it didn't finish. No, but no, I mean, dude, you know, you can't build like you can't build a hot rod for a drag race.
Yeah,
you know. And then expect to finish a road race. I mean, you got the number 2 guy in the fucking country on a bike, and I almost fucking rear-ended him because it kept dying out. You know what I mean?
Was that the boss?
Performance Machine.
Oh, which?
That was Josh Herron on the Performance Machine bike. And I believe that the temp sensor was fucking shutting the bike off.
Yeah.
In the corners. And when we were in the staging area, we're all standing there waiting to like take pictures and shit or whatever. Mm-hmm. I was like, hey, you might want to check the tip sensor. And the mechanic was like, no, that's not it. And I'm like, all right, bro.
Yeah.
And then this other dude was like, oh, don't give it away. I'm like, why the fuck? Like, why the fuck not? Go fix your shit so we can race, motherfucker. You know what I mean? Like, that's how I am though. But I mean, dude, even Performance Machine with their big rig couldn't even get the bike to finish. That's racing, bro. Like, anything can happen, dude. You go out there, the more prepared you are, the better you're gonna do.
Well, yeah, I mean, everybody can't expect, I mean, it's the very first race ever. Yeah. And these bikes everybody's trying to get the most horsepower. Yeah. And then think about probably the brakes and the suspension afterwards. Yeah. And, I mean, fuck, that dude looped, the Rolling Sands bike looped.
Yeah. Yeah, doing practice starts.
Yeah.
Yeah,
that shows how much, like you were saying, like trying to keep the bike on the ground and how quickly things wanted to come out. How much horsepower was going through the one that you were riding?
150?
Man.
I think 150. At least 140. But no, I think over 140. I think 148, 149 for horsepower, and then like 160 for torque.
Yeah.
Out of a stock 131. Or no, with a cam.
Yeah. That makes sense.
So.
Yeah, because mine's 131 pushing 136, 146. So with a cam in it.
Yeah, it's just got a cam in there. That's it. And it's like 150 or like something. I mean, it's fucking fast, bro. Yeah. When I test rode that bike for the first time, I was like, what? That's a fucking stock. That's a stock Harley motor. Like, no way.
Yeah, it's insane.
It's dope. And it's fucking. I mean, I don't know how many miles we put on that thing. I think it's got like 2,000 miles now. Mm-hmm. Not even. No. Maybe a little bit less on the bagger. I think my bike. Oh no, my bike has like almost 3,000 miles on the Milwaukee 8. Mm-hmm. And dude, I fucking thrash these things, bro.
Yeah.
It's
worth it.
It's off the fucking red limiter, whether I'm going up or down. Like, it's still banging off the red, whether I'm shifting up or down, it's on the red, like, it's...
Yeah.
And or downshifting and going into a corner and you're fucking just...
Engine braking. Yeah.
It's... I'm pretty impressed. Very impressed with these bikes.
I'm trying not to talk too much about it because, I went and got mine in Milwaukee, rode to New York, then back to Dallas, then to Florida, then back to Dallas, and now I'm here on it. Yeah. And I'm coming up on, at the end of this trip, I'll be at 15,000 miles even on this bike, on a 131. And it's crazy because, I'm ripping down the highway doing 1,100 mile days to get to one spot.
Yeah, I've seen that.
And then turning around and, finally meeting up with the boys, pulling my shit off the bike, having a beer, and fucking whipping, little power wheelies down the street. And then wake up the next day, starts right up. I'm totally sold on this motor, and it's and
very impressed.
Yeah,
and it's not even a plug for Harley. I'm very impressed with the stock motor that you can get, and
it's not that expensive, man.
Yeah,
$6,100.
Oh yeah, the fucking sport bike teams were coming in the pits and they're like, "How much are those motors?" And they're like, "Oh, six grand." So, okay, we're gonna need 3. We're gonna need 2 of those. We're like. That's the kind of money these fucking guys spend. They come with 3 motors. They're looking at their sport bike motors are $20,000 each.
Well, they don't know anything about the Harley game. Where we don't have 3 available in America right now.
Yeah, exactly. So that's this race mentality.
Yeah,
dude, that's how these guys come ready to rebuild the bike overnight.
Yeah, I mean, that's the thing. I've been talking with so many people about this, but it's inevitable that I think we have a lot of products on the market right now that are better than stock. Yeah. But this racing shit is putting it to another test. And I would think
actually putting it to it's putting it to an extreme test.
Yeah.
You put it to this test on the road, but now it's putting it to an extreme
conditions. Yeah. I mean, we're on the streets. Maybe in certain canyons you're going to be able to top out the bike and go full brake on it at the end of the road? No, I wouldn't think so.
I would not suggest it.
Yeah.
I would not recommend it.
For sure.
I would for sure not recommend it because I've never done it.
Yeah. It's just not. So there's too many variables, but.
Dude. Yeah.
But now with this happening, it's especially with more people getting involved, these brands, you know, some people might have a product that's pretty solid off the rip and nothing needs to be done, but there's a lot of high tension things going on in this shit that's gonna need some attention.
Yeah.
And those products might not be streetable, you know what I mean, at the end of the day.
Right.
But, you know, racing's racing. You know
yeah,
what I mean?
that's the same all around. Cars, trucks, bikes, whatever. It's racing. Like these.
Yeah.
How many race cars or trucks or bikes are street legal? Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Or EPA like the fucking you know. The tires aren't even street legal.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? Like shit, dude. Like it's fully not a you know. So yeah, a lot of these parts are gonna be extreme, but they're gonna come. I mean, look at Trask.
Yeah,
freaking testing his turbo. Like,
yeah,
everyone was like, "Oh, there's no way that's gonna fucking last the whole dude." The dude was shredding.
He plays decent, man, didn't he?
He was fucking shredding. Yeah. And it'll be out there in June again, you know?
Yeah.
Like,
and I just never thought, I mean, I know that obviously the turbos make power, but just like the weight.
Yeah.
Throwing it like
I couldn't explain it, dude. But he was out there shredding 100%.
So nice.
So, yeah, and like, dude, it was, and like, dude, everybody's faces, dude, like the smiles that everybody had, like even the sport bike guys were loving it. Like, it was just like,
well,
it was meant to be, bro. It was like it was just finally meant to happen. And it was, why didn't we think of this before? The Moto America guys coming up to me like, why didn't we think about this before? And I'm like, I don't know, bro. We've been trying to tell you guys forever.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, but you know, a lot of their fucking customers ride in on baggers and on Harleys. They said like 63 or 65 something, 60 something percent of the crowd that ride to the events are on Harleys. Yeah. They're like, we don't know why we didn't think of this. Like, we're like, well, guess what? You know, you probably, you did. You just thought it was stupid. You know? Like, now we're here, look. Yeah. Like, it's fun, bro. It's.
Well, the amount of fun it was to watch, even just, you know, like with Homeboy going off the track. Yeah. And then coming back, like, talk about some edge of your seat shit, dude. Like, did you ever watch the race
Hayden Gillum's seat wasn't even on.
For real?
Yeah. In the start of the race, because you're not allowed to have any tools. Like, we go on the hot lap and they come around. It wasn't clipped in the front. It was tied in the back. So Hayden was just he was just free floating with a seat the whole time, the whole race. You know what I mean? Like, he had no. I mean, dude, you really want to be planted sometimes when you're hanging. You know what I mean? So that may have screwed him up a little bit. I don't know. But the fucking the mechanic was like banging on the seat like right before the race start. You know,
because you can't even use a tool.
No, they don't have any tools in the hot pit. Okay. And so when we go around the racetrack for the warm up lap, like if the pace car passes you and you don't pass them by the time we get to the grid, you're out. So if you stall out and you can't pass if they pass you and you can't pass them back, you're out of the race. You got to be in front of the pace car, get in and get set up, and then you got like you got your mechanic standing there where you're supposed to grid. Yeah. And then they have no tools on them, and they just have to be there, and then that fool's like, my seat's not. Dude, that mechanic was so pissed, dude. He was like trying to bend the seat, and they were trying to get it on with no tools. And sorry, bro, it's not gonna happen.
So he had to race the whole thing.
He raced the whole
Wow,
with the seat falling off. So that was Hayden Gillum on the Vance and Hines bike with his seat falling off. Yeah. So I mean, but it was a fucking epic battle, bro. Like it was cool as fuck. You can't explain it. Like you can't. It was like the coolest thing I've ever seen. You know, the only way it would have been cooler if Hayden would have won.
The Harley.
Yeah. So
agreed.
Yeah. So, but other than that, dude, it was everything we could ask for for a V-twin race, and like trying to come into this race world. You know what I'm saying?
Make a mark,
and make a mark, and it did. It made a mark.
It sure did, and
so.
Yeah, like I said, that thing was badass, and fucking. I didn't, you know, obviously we didn't get to watch any of the videos, and I think this last one was really just a true exhibition, right, at the Chuckwalla deal.
Yes, yeah, that was fully just for advertising what we're doing.
And so I might have heard this, and I could be right or wrong, but you've been going through and writing kind of the rule book, or kind of trying to help set.
I've been helping. Yeah. I my rules were like 3 lines. And it was like race, be there, and race again. Like, it was just stupid shit. You know what I mean? Like my very basic. I was trying to go through other races, like different race, rule books and stuff like that, to see what what the different bikes are and different classes and all that shit. I'm like, I have no idea. So there's other people doing the rule book and stuff.
That's cool.
I'm just kind of there to just to give some insight as far as what I know, which is very little. You know what I mean?
And so the classes that are going to be at the BRL, once they just announced at Daytona that the not the Bagger GP, but what was the one that they just announced?
The Pro Stock. So
that's going to be baggers too.
Yes, that's all baggers.
And is there
amateur? It's the amateur bagger race.
Yeah. So is there like any limitations to what you can do to the bike?
Yes, I believe so. It's going to be it's going to be an easier. It's not going to be it doesn't have to be a fully built bike.
Yeah.
There's going to be a weight minimum to where you can't go below the weight limit. You know what I mean? To where it's more of a competitive, cheaper class for people to enter kind of thing. You know what I mean? Where
it makes sense.
You don't have to have a Saddleman bike to come and race and stuff like that. So it'll be suspension. I think it's still 131. The motor's still 131. Suspension and brakes. And you can't do all this shit to shave weight. You have to have a certain amount of weight on the bike, basically.
Yeah.
You can't so it's not as expensive.
That's
you know
cool.
what I mean? Does that make sense?
It does.
You can go out there and get to the point where you go to the Bagger GP and have the experience, the expert rider or whatever. But if you don't have that, you don't need that kind of bike. So it's not very limited.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? But it is more limited.
It makes sense to try to limit the weight of the bike, and so that they don't start going to,
all of a sudden you don't shave. You don't have the advantage because you have the money to shave all this weight.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? That's
exactly.
kind of where they're going with the Pro Stock class. So it's more of the regular Joe Schmo kind of class, where it's easier to be able to race in it. You know what I'm saying?
And then other than the stunt GP, what are the other classes?
Hooligan.
And that's going to basically...
GP, which is going to be like Sportsters, hooligan bikes, all the guys that race flat track, basically, or the XR 1200s.
They have to get front brakes.
No, they all put front brakes. They were all out there on the 25th.
Oh,
they all put front brakes and shit on their bikes and street tires, and it was a whole there was 20 of them out there. So that's kind of a that's a cool. That's just another opportunity for different kind of Harleys to race in, right?
Yeah.
Then there's the Big Twin GP, which will be the FXRs, Dynas, and Softails.
I don't know if they're going to be able to get an FXR out there without leaking oil.
Well, I mean, hey, dude, with all the fucking new motors and shit you can put in them,
a whole bunch of M8 FXR.
Yeah, right. So, but that's the idea on that. You know what I mean? So the FXR Dyna Softail will be in the Big Twin GP, and the Hooligan Big Twin Pro Stock. Yeah, those will be the amateur. A minimum of the experts can race in them if they want, but they're not. It's not like actually. Don't quote me on that. They might not.
Yeah.
You might not be able to race down. I don't know. I don't know how they're doing it, but they don't want people that don't have a lot of experience getting on the track with Corey West and Ben Bostrom, and they could care less about me. But they care about the fucking dudes that are like full on. I was looking for that lighter. What the hell? Like what? So, So that's why it's separated as far as that. The expert and the amateur. So there's the rest of the classes are for guys that are that want to come race.
Yeah.
And we made it to where. Yeah, you got to jump through some hoops, but it's not gnarly hoops.
Well, I mean, if you didn't do that, I mean, just imagine everybody showing up with their bike, be wild. I'm excited.
Yeah.
I know that they haven't really announced it, but I know you guys are coming to Texas, I believe. I'm really looking forward to that. That's something I'm really stoked to see and being in my backyard.
It's not for sure, yeah. But there is talks. It's they're dude. I'm telling you, like, there's a lot of shit in the dark with the BRL because
it's so new.
It's so new.
Yeah,
and but what I can say is, like, dude, if you like Harleys and you like V-twins and you like racing, bro, and you like going to Harley shows and you like bike shows and stunt shows and and you want to check out the vendors and the whole nine, like, it's gonna be dope. You know what I mean? And it's gonna be that, and then there's gonna be racing over here that you can watch.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. And then there's gonna be some drag racing and some stunting, and there's gonna be all this shit.
I think Ness is gonna be hosting a show too for like bike shows and shit. So I'll go do that.
Yeah. No, hey, dude, it's gonna be like you would go to this event anyways.
Yeah.
If it wasn't racing, like, you would want to go there and have a booth, or at least be there. Like, and everyone's gonna want to, and there's gonna be racing, like, and we're gonna be shredding Harleys all day around a racetrack as fast as we can.
Have you ever ridden the track in Utah?
No.
Have you? Is it? How long is the track? Do you know the mileage on it?
I can't remember. I was actually looking it up the other day, because there's a track day going out there in the beginning of June, but they're doing a different configuration, and I guess it's the track that, like, Ken Block and Travis Pastrana always go to. So it's their, like, home track kind of thing, where there's a Nitro Circus track there, and it's like this whole compound, bro. It's sick as fuck. Yeah, so I'm looking forward to that. Hopefully Ken Block and Travis Pastrana will be there.
So did you get a chance to actually talk with any of the pro racers, like the Bostroms and stuff, much? And I mean, how are those? I mean, how do they seem to feel about the whole thing?
Bro, they love it. For like Corey West, dude, and like these guys, like, their smiles on their faces are like say it all. These guys have won championships, and they're out there shredding race bikes. Some of them were racing sport bikes on that same weekend, like in serious racing. You know what I mean? This was like for fun. Like, these fools were competing. Like, they're so humble and fucking chill, bro. It's intense. It's kind of like, wow, these guys are fucking, and they actually love it. Because I'm that Harley guy that's like, dude, what do you honestly think about it? Like, tell me and they're like, dude, this is the funnest shit we've ever done.
Nice.
Like, and like, literally, like, it's more fun because it's less competitive. It kind of not less competitive, but it's less like 160 miles an hour in a corner, and you're still racing and going as fast as you physically can on a motorcycle, but it's just it's a whole different ballgame. It's on a big old fucking thing, and you're just it's a different beast. You know what I mean? So, like, they had a lot of fun, like those, and they're coming out to do it again. Nice. They're a lot of, like. So you're gonna get to race your Softail too? Yep. That's cool. So you'll be able to do that. Yeah. I'm planning on racing the big twin class on the Softail, and then I'll jump on the bagger right after, and so I'll be racing 2 races in a row. How's that gonna feel? I mean, are you pretty? I'm training for it right now, bro. It's tough. Just like completely different bikes and setups, and it's so. But I raced. My Fat Bob wasn't ready for last weekend, but I raced the bagger at CVMA, so I'm getting more seat time on that, practicing, getting more used to it. I will have my Fat Bob out there on the 27th, 28th of this month, and I'll have the bagger out there also. So I'll be doing I'll be racing the Formula Twins on that one, and then the American Twins on the bagger. So it's a little, we'll see how. Let's see how it is. I mean, last round I raced the bagger 2 days in a row, but one race on Saturday, 2 races on Sunday, and it fucking works you. You know what I mean? Yeah. Like, 2 races on a bagger. Let's fucking. It's, some back muscles out of that one, dude. Fuck, man, it's insane. Like but it's just another challenge to have to do to get better and be better for the next time. Yeah. So it's a constant battle, and that's what's so fucking cool about racing. You know what I mean? Like, it's not just like, it's cool for us racing. We're trying to, like, shave off a second, And for people watching, it's fucking just rad to watch. Like there's
a connection though, because you're kind of seeing, you kind of see bikes that like you kind of have, right? Mm-hmm. I mean, obviously, like even your Softail out there's got a lot of shit done to it. The seat pan, or the hotel section, or I guess you would call it the subframe is like it's very modified compared to like a normal Softail, but it still has a look. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Or looking at the baggers, I mean, most of them still look kind of stock. I mean, the one that you're riding, looks like a black Road Glide.
It is, It basically is it's a off the showroom floor, basically bolt on shit on that bike, and that's what Speed Merchant tried to do. A lot of it's all bolt on shit. Like I mean, the tail section, it's just an aluminum subframe that bolts on. Yeah. The rims, obviously, the front ends off of Fat Bob. The Fat Bob triple trees, like it's literally all bolt on shit. So carbon fiber fucking fairings and bags and shit that most of the bikes have already. Yeah. I mean, it's very, it's a race bike, but it's very, and then what, an alloy arch swing arm, Brembo brakes, like Galfer rotors. It's got fucking, it's a bike that you see on the street. Yeah. Minus the headlights. Actually, he has taillights in the bags. Oh, okay. Yeah. And he has a quarter fairing that he throws on to ride on the street. That's cool. That bike actually is a street bike that, is very easy to change back and forth. That's cool. So, and that's what they were trying to go for with that bike. And then obviously a bolt-in motor. Are you running rear sets on that one, or are you running mid controls? Mid controls. Are they just super high? Mid controls with our shred pegs on them. Okay. Yeah. So with the bagger, like with the Softail, I don't need shred pegs on the mid controls. Like I can get over and move around the bike. The bagger is a little bit bigger. Like I can still lean over, but when I'm fully getting it and I'm all the way off, like my feet start coming off the pegs and shit. So I put the shred pegs on, and dude, it's like locking you in. Yeah, I got so much control on that bike. It's not even funny. But I'm definitely getting better at it. But it feels good, dude. You know what I mean? But they're also doing a couple different things. We're gonna change a couple things here and there, and then try it out again on the 26th, and then race it on the 27th, 28th. So you're basically on the bagger. You're not having too much problem with your foot clearance. Basically, it's just like because. Yeah, that makes sense. It's just hitting the primary sometimes. Yeah. In a super leaned over, you know what I mean? Like, so realistically, like, I mean, this is kind of a newbie question. So is the idea to get as much off and keep the bike as straight as possible without going over? Absolutely. Yeah. So the reason I'm leaned off the bike is because I'm putting the weight where the bike should be, where the bike wants you to be in that corner, right? If I end up leaning off the bike, you're technically pushing the bike up. Mm-hmm. I'm trying to push the bike up as I'm leaning off the bike, right? But all my weight is over here, so you actually can have it up. It's like if you try sitting on the seat and sitting on the seat and just go, all right, yeah. Now, if you lean off, I can get the bike way over here before I scrape. Like it's I don't know. It's like a science thing, bro. Yeah. Science. But no, seriously, like I can't really explain it, but like it's something about the weight, the body weight, and the center of where your weight's at. That allows the bike to give it a little bit more clearance. Mm-hmm. So it's been working. That's what I've always done, even in the canyons before I was scraping knees and shit. I didn't start scraping knees till I got on the racetrack and actually started using it to keep me up. And it's nice to have your knee on the ground if you're gonna slide out. It's something to push off you can literally push your fucking self up off the ground as you're So you use your leg to kind of balance yourself on that ground. Like that's so weird. Yeah, it's pretty. It's fucking at 80 miles an hour. Yeah. So it is a mind fuck, but. It works, and especially like when you get, I don't know. What I try to tell people when they're learning, I say, don't get off the seat. You go through a corner, start putting your chin to the inside handlebar. Mm-hmm. So that what that does is that starts bringing the top of your weight over, right? And and then you're still okay. Well, now I put my little weight into the corner, and a little bit, and then you go farther and farther, and then you're like, wait a minute, now it's. But unless you're scraping, unless you're actually scraping in the corner, you don't have to lean. Yeah. If you're scraping, then that's when you start leaning. Okay. You know what I'm saying? Like, you don't. It's not a necessity. You don't want to be going 30 miles an hour around a corner, fully leaned over. You know what I mean? Yeah. It's not doing anything for you. But when you get to that point where you're scraping in that corner, then you start moving your fucking body over, and it works. I'm telling you.
And you're applying a lot of the trail breaking concepts when you ride?
Absolutely. Absolutely. Trail breaking like a mofo. Yeah.
It's sketchy or not?
Yeah, it's sketchy.
I've been, hell, since the last time we talked, I've been still trying to practice that as just a common practice, and it's like, I guess where my levers are, when I'm riding and chilling, just cruising down the highway, they're perfect. But when I'm riding like aggressive, wrong spot. Right. Because it's like I can't even get my hands over the rear brake as a comfort thing. Like it needs to be. I guess because I'm scooting up on the seat.
Well, it needs, and you're up. You know what I mean? Yeah. And if they're, they're just a little bit too high. That's all. Because you're like. You're up over the bike, and when you're getting after it, you're more on top of the bike. Yeah. And that's like what I did with the tail section. I put that thing way up taller, and like way taller than the stock seat, right? But that's getting my body up, and now I'm forward. I sit on the very front of that thing, so now I'm more forward than my seat was before. Yeah. And now I'm on top of the bike. Now I'm sitting on top of this fucking motor, and I'm able to, like, it is insane, like how when you start
playing with the geometry of it.
Like when I did it for the first time with that tail section, I went on Willow Springs, Big Willow. Went into turn 1, 130 miles an hour. Went into turn 1, and I was sitting like back on the seat, and my bike was wobbling like a mother. Like I was like, what the hell's wrong with this bike? Yeah. But my weight was in the wrong spot. It's like depending on where you're at on the bike, it could be a completely different scenario, But
what was the I just had a question on that one. So you ran the Sportster style tank on that to basically give you more leg room, so when you're leaning over and shit. Yeah. See, the whole knee pocket thing on tanks is starting to make more sense when your body is having to come off to the other side. So that's where that other leg resting up against the motor makes a lot more sense.
Yeah, and now it's a lot thinner, right? So now my knee can move over even farther, and it's up against that flat fucking tank. And now I'm like, dude, I can hop over that thing.
And it's not like you need especially on the bagger, it ain't like you need a fucking 5.5 gallon gas tank. I mean, you could probably cut a lot of that out. Yeah.
I mean, especially if you're riding with homies and dynas and shit, like you're gonna, you go 2 gas stops before before you need gas, But yeah, no, it's definitely usable. I mean, there's the tank right behind you. That's the stock one, and that back corner was in my way. It was preventing me from being forward and over the bike more. So, with the sporty tank, it's a little bit farther up, which I was able to put the tail section farther up, and it just all around
makes it work. Yeah. I noticed some of the other bikes, they were like foaming up tall ass seats. Was that the same concept to try to create that forward and up motion?
Because some of them put rear sets on the bikes, and they were changed. When you put the rear sets there, you got to sit in a different, like, you know what I mean? It's all trial and error. Yeah, it's really like, and it's an untapped fucking thing, and it's just like, so it's just a free for all for everybody to just figure it all out now, and it's fucking cool. Like it's making these companies, like a lot of these companies, like threw us parts and like helped us throughout the way and stuff. And Lindell, he's been a fucking huge sponsor for us since we first started, pretty much. Alloy Art, Speed Merchant, a lot of these guys, like, they threw parts at us and shit, but now they're making parts for this. Like, that subframe that Alloy Art made, like, it's for this. It's for racing, bro. Like, you know what I mean? It looks cool as fuck. Like it really does.
Yeah.
But it's for race. It shaves fucking like 20 pounds off your bike.
Yeah.
Like whoa, you know. And it's like, and then all this other shit that like is now coming from racing, bro. So I don't know. It's like, it's only the beginning. Mm-hmm. And like you said, like these companies are gonna start now, and now they're honing in on fucking shredding.
Yeah, because now they have like they know exactly what is happening, and through the racers' feedback and you know, get the engineers out there, and then
that's how everything gets better.
Yeah,
absolutely.
And then I mean, shit, even with Indian dumping money, it makes
Harley's gonna dump money this year.
They're gonna have to.
I guarantee you, bro.
Yeah. So
they're gonna come out swinging, and
dude, that's why they came out with the R motor.
I don't know.
The 131R is supposed to be like 160 horsepower, but it's like a more high compression version of the 130.
It's a very. Is it a Screaming Eagle one?
Yep.
Yeah, that's a very good possibility.
Yep.
You'll see some Screaming Eagle shit out there.
It'd be nice, man. Like, yeah, it's wild, dude. It's awesome seeing this all happen.
Yeah.
Especially
and like I'm kind of like behind the scenes a little bit.
Yeah.
Like I'm not fully, and it's a trip seeing it all and being like. And I'm still like, what? We're racing. I'm still kind of like, what? We're racing Harleys? Yeah. Like this is, you know, but like, it's a fucking, it's really a cool being recognized, I guess. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Just like, I'm so fucking grateful for people being like, dude, you know, the opportunity, first of all, to be able to race Moto America, like that was fucking huge for me. You know what I mean? When I got that phone call, you can ask my wife, dude, I was like I don't know. I was as happy as my kid is when I come home with a toy from Target or something. You know what I mean? Like, they're so freaking stoked.
Yeah.
But yeah, I was like, dude, we're racing at Laguna Seca?
Yeah.
Like, against who? Yeah, bro. I To be able to experience that, I'm so fucking honored, and I can't wait to see where this shit goes, dude.
So what now that all this is taking place, like Shred Motoco, like what does it look like for your brand? Is it becoming more of a? We're
still broke and trying to go to the racetrack. You know, like that's it. You know what I mean? Like it's. You know, we're getting some recognition. Shred Motoco's getting a little recognition, which I'm very grateful of. You know what I mean? Like, we've always, you know, we've sold some parts and this and that, but we've always tried to just be that. Oh, you know, what can we do next? Oh, go to Shred Motoco and you got the calendar. Go make go pick what day you want to go on the racetrack.
It's almost like you're an ambassador for this sport,
yeah.
Right? And it's almost like your existence of it is.
Do ambassadors get paid? Because
they're supposed to.
Yeah. See, then no, I'm not an ambassador. I'm just a very enthusiastic, fucking racer that really wants to see other people racing. Yeah. You know, that's really all it is, and that's all it's ever been. And like Shred Motoco, like if we have a lot of things coming out very soon.
Good. Yeah.
So we're working very hard on trying to like. You know, we've worked hard on getting to this point, and we feel like we've done what we can, but now we don't have anything to offer. Yeah. You know what I mean? We're at the point where we don't have anything else to offer because we're just tapped out. But like I said, we're coming out with a few things. We got a few designs coming out, and you know, as far as merchandise, we're going to try to go smaller price things, and you know, instead of having to buy a set of shred pegs, like, you know, you can support and buy some cool shirts and shit. So
that's cool.
We're doing a lot of other things. We've always focused on, you know, our parts and our shred pegs and our axle blocks, and it's high money stuff. We don't do it in house. Like, you know, we're doing everything we can, and we've never focused on merchandise. So we're going to try to do some shit and really support the Harley racing scene, like which we want to do, but we just can't.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
well, how long do you think it'd be before you, if you can't already, like just starting like your own classing, or maybe setting up the tracks and doing some where you're being paid to do some teaching?
That's in the works. Yeah. I'm at the point where I I need to sharpen my skills a little bit more, because I have been going to the track and practicing and doing all this shit, but I have not taken the step to have coaching myself, which that's in the works as well. I'm planning on doing some coaching or not coaching, but getting coached by professionals and stuff like that. So I have more to offer if I was to do a coaching session. But with that being said, on Friday, I am actually going to be coaching a few people, but not getting paid wise. Well, maybe kind of. I'm working off a scratch on a gas tank. So I'm gonna coach homeboy. Okay. I offered to fix it, but all he wanted was coaching. So I'm gonna coach him on the 19th and help him.
Yeah.
So I guess it's an agreement. I'm not, but no, I'm gonna offer that. I try to offer that as well. Like, anyways, I try to offer any knowledge that I have I want people going faster, safer, having more fun.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying, right? So that's my goal. That's Shred Motoco's goal is for guys on Harleys. We love Harleys, so we say Harleys, but the guys on Harleys or V-twins, we want to offer, like, hey, dude, this is where you go, or this is how you get there, or this is what you need. We're not getting paid for all that shit, but we're offering just like the steps to get to the next. I
feel like what we've already established that you've been doing is building the scene. Yeah. Building, if you will, the racing industry.
Building a race that I want to race in. That's I guess selfishly, I've been trying to build up a race so I can race in it.
Yeah, it makes sense.
But at the same time, I know how awesome it was for me, and how, like, it changed my life and made me look at, it made me like be around my family more. Like the race weekend is more than just going and racing. It's seeing friends that you haven't seen. It's fucking, you build relationships with these other families that are there, and it's pretty much the same people every race weekend, right? So now it's this big race family, So, but with that being said, like, I get to go shred my bike, and I'm camping with my family.
And your kids are there, so they're able to watch you. It's way different than like from if you're just gonna go rip the canyons right now and go to Neptunes, like. They're not going to get to really experience that with you.
Well, no, and if they got to sit in the car and sit in traffic for 3 hours just to get there, I mean, or it's just like I would rather go shred when the kids were younger, and it's like now they're all at the racetrack with me.
That's
cool.
What
I mean? So, but because of course I want to ride. We all want to fucking ride, but I want to be with my family too. Or like I want to be around them more, and they're riding pit bikes around. My kid's kid's on the mini track on his electric freaking dirt bike, and he's out there having a blast, bro. And like that's an experience and a lifestyle that just like was super attractive, and so it's a lot more than just racing. But what was the question?
That was pretty much it.
So no, it's it really turned into a whole thing, and
that's good. Like I never really thought about it like that, with the whole aspect of your family can be a lot more involved in it, because it could be the weekend. Just like if you were gonna take the motorhome down to the dunes or something for the weekend,
It's the same idea.
Yeah.
Because out at Chuckwalla and a lot of these places, right?
Yeah.
Chuckwalla's in the middle of nowhere. If you bring your side-by-side or your dirt bikes or your quads, guess what? You go ride the track during the day. At night, you're out fucking exploring and mobbing, or your off-road trucks, or what. Like you can literally, it's a playground.
Yeah,
it's a huge playground. So you go out with your buddies and help them in the pits while they're riding, racing during the day. Then you go get in your freaking, your off-road fucking vehicle and go hit the trails. Or they got the flat track thing there. They got the mini bike thing there. It's a whole, it turns into a whole. And my kids think they're going camping.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? They fully think, oh, we're going fucking camping. This is fun.
Yeah.
And they love it, dude. You know what I mean? And that's what, and I love it. Like I in the beginning, I didn't have a trailer. I didn't have a place for them to stay. So it was a lot of just leaving in the morning, doing a day trip, or sleeping in the back of the truck, and they weren't there. You know what I mean? So it was like, fuck these. You know, I missed out on a lot of shit. But what I did see was when I was there, I would see the families there. I would see the little kids helping their dad unload the car or bike or whatever. You know what I mean? Like it'd be the night before, and they'd be loading up the car because it was a car track day before. You know what I mean? And you're just like, damn, dude, that's pretty fucking cool. You know?
It is.
And then I started bringing my kids, and my wife would drive to the ones that are closer. And now I got a fucking 40-foot toy hauler that I tow to the track, and we got a house there. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's the way to go.
It you know, we just I just got it actually. So our old one was totaled out, and we got a little 28. We got like a 20. I say little. It's not that. It wasn't that little. It was a 28, 30-foot toy hauler, and that thing and it worked great. It was perfect, but it kind of fell apart and this and that, and so we just got this new one, which is like fully capable of going anywhere in the country. You know what I mean? And like not going to fall apart on us, at least. So
that's cool.
But that it didn't start off that way. You know what I mean? Like it you know, another kid that's going to get his race license on the 26th. He just posted that he just got a little enclosed trailer.
Yeah.
Like, and dude, when I started doing this, I was renting a truck or renting an Enterprise van, and I knew how fucking rad it would be to have a trailer.
What was that noise?
Airplane.
Oh, it's like this thing's picking up like fucking ants walking by. So
is it really?
Yeah. It's
so. But yeah,
you would rent a U-Haul to go out there and do.
Yeah, I would rent an Enterprise van or a truck from Enterprise because they gave free miles or unlimited miles.
That's cool.
But so like seeing this kid buy his trailer and stoked as fuck on the I'm like that right there reminds me of like 4 fucking years ago, like how stoked I would have been to get a trailer. You know what I mean? I'm like, dude, these guys are buying trailers, they're setting up their bikes, they're fully into it, just like I was, bro. I spent all my money renting a fucking truck just to go to the racetrack to try to get a video, you know, to advertise it. You know what I mean? So, luckily I didn't have to pay the guys to help me do it because they all enjoyed doing it too. Yeah. But I mean, we were all out there doing it for free. Like, just to fucking show the Harley world, like, dude, we're missing out, guys.
That's rad.
And that's what's so cool, bro. Like, now it's, like, that's all we were trying to do. So, it's pretty fucking rad that, you know, people are like, wow, hey, this is something cool, you know, and they mentioned me, or, you know, they mentioned Shred Motocon. I'm like, bro, like, I'm like, thank you. You know, like I don't like seriously. I'm like, wow, like, oh, you're right. Maybe we did have a little bit of something to do with this shit. You know what I mean? Like, but at the same time, we're still doing the same shit we've been doing. You know, and we're gonna go out there and fucking shred the racetrack, and that's
all that matters.
Yeah. So
well, shit, man. I appreciate you doing this. We're an hour and a half, a little late.
Yeah.
I got to get to the other side of LA.
Yeah, you got a little ride to do.
I'm stoked we got to do this, man, because like I said, it was one of the ones I wanted to make sure they got it recorded on this trip.
Oh yeah.
I mean, like I said, you had a rad year last year.
Yeah.
Well,
was it last year? Is it 20?
Yeah, it's 2021.
Dude, what a trip, bro.
Quickly.
It literally sitting down here and talking to you had made me think about like how like
it seems like forever ago.
Yeah,
it does, right?
Like what is it, March right now? And it was the race was in October?
Yeah.
Or was it the year before?
That was last year.
like seriously, like that's like it feels like the year before, maybe.
Well, it is technically the year before.
But like the year before that, it feels like it's been even longer. I don't know, maybe
that's how long this COVID shit's been feeling.
It's just been making it feel double, you know.
But no, like we just sat down in a restaurant, and I guess today was the first day they opened up to 25% here.
No shit,
for restaurants and shit.
Yeah,
even though you could find places to let you.
Yeah, we go to places all the time.
Yeah,
that's good. That's good. Well, LA is worse than where we're at right now.
Yeah. But, yeah, they're on that other shit. So,
yeah.
But no, man, like I said, I wanted to get you on. It's like we talked a couple times, especially after the race.
Yeah.
And, you know, with all this bagger racing league, it just seemed like this was the only time I was going to be able to get out. And, you know, because we're talking with Alloy Art tomorrow.
Oh, bitchin'.
And then we're going to be, I think we're talking to Suicide Machine Co. tomorrow, too.
Yeah.
And I think that they're trying to get involved with more of this stuff as well.
Oh, yeah, dude. I mean, it's more companies and people are getting involved by the day.
Yeah.
Because you're able to. Like, you're actually, it's reachable. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? Some people, they might miss June. If they're not already on the whole getting your race license and shit like that, you might miss June, but you might be around for September.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then you'll definitely be around for December.
Yeah.
So
it'll happen.
Hint.
Yeah.
Nudge nudge. Like it's happening.
Get it going.
Yeah. Regardless, get like if you're listening to this and you're like, oh, should I go get my racer's license? Yes. Like go start working and getting it. Oh, what do I need to do? You need to tape up your lights and your mirrors and go hit the track. And then your body and your fucking bike will tell you what else you need.
Yeah.
Like straight up.
Makes sense.
That's it. Like don't think that, oh, I got to go get these shocks and this and that and that and that. No.
Mm-hmm.
Nope. If they rent out suits and gear and shit, rent it out. If not, go buy some shit.
Mm-hmm.
Because if you go wear it in the canyons, you'll feel like Superman. Like it's ridiculous. When I went out and test rode with my fucking suit for the first time, I was like, wow, I feel like I can go a little bit faster, you know?
Yeah.
But no, anyways, regardless, you know, that's all you need is the gear and come out and bring your bike that you're used to riding.
Mm-hmm.
When you start scraping your foot pegs, guess what? You might need to raise the bike up a little bit. You might need to raise your foot pegs up a little bit. You're going to figure out what you need. You don't need to go do all these things first.
Yeah.
First go on the racetrack and then you'll figure it out. You know what I mean?
Tune the rider, not the bike.
Absolutely. Yeah. You know?
Yeah.
So, yeah, I mean, I hope whatever bullshit I said tonight helps. And
it was enlightening. And I got to be honest with you, man, even when I came in here, it's like I have preconceived notions of it. I have my own feelings about it, but I honestly feel a lot better about it after talking with you and hearing actual information, like in a conversation form versus the tidbits that we've gotten so far. It's like, so like I said, it's changed my perspective, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
And I mean, totally from day one, though, I wanted to succeed.
Yeah. Well, any of us that rides a Harley wants this to happen.
Yeah.
Whether you're racing in it or not, you want this to fucking happen because this is going to be the coolest bike show, like event, weekend camping scenario that I don't know if it's going to be like bands and the whole nine, but it's going to be a cool fucking event to go to. And there's going to be racing. And there's going to be guys pushing the limits of machines. Like that's any way you look at it, it's dope as fuck. Yeah. You know what I mean? So, there's people behind the scenes doing a lot of shit right now to try to bring this and turn it into a reality, you know, which is like my dream. Like in a nutshell, it's like what I've been dreaming for this entire time, doing all this bullshit, right? Like last year you were sitting in my shop, which I don't have anymore because I would sit in my office making videos. You know what I mean?
Instead of working.
Yeah, straight up. Yeah. I'll be honest. Like I was focused on creating this.
Yeah.
You know, whether or not I did or not, I was focused on creating what we're doing right now.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, like,
it's important, man. That's why like 100% why I'm stoked that you're such a part of it, and you know you're kind of being humble about it and how much. But I feel like it's every day. It's like another picture of you ripping around a track.
Yeah.
It's another video of you ripping around a track, or you know, like I said, you're becoming a very great ambassador. We just need to get those checks, right?
No, man. No. I truly believe that what we're doing is dope.
Yeah.
And it used to be about trying to get those checks, right? Of course, that's always in the back of your mind, like you're trying to do, you know. But what's really, really been going on is the fucking smiles, bro.
Yeah.
It's every time somebody comes off the racetrack and it's like, that's the dopest shit I've ever done.
Yeah.
That's the check.
That's
right
what
there.
you want.
That's the check. Like eventually, it's coming. I know it, bro. I'm trying to have faith in everything right now, and
well, that's what they say about something you love. If you keep doing it, eventually the money will come. If you're, it's like when you start thinking about the money, it kind of stifles whatever, like your actual passion for it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yes.
Because
and it did for a while. And it did for me for a while because I needed to pay rent and I needed to fucking make money. But it was never for that reason. You know what I'm saying? Like it was because of the true fucking love of racing. And I'm still not making money. I have a day job that you had to wait. Like you couldn't come over here till 8:30 at night because I had to get off my day job. Okay, like I'm not. This ain't no. Yeah, we're not fucking partying in limos and doing all this shit. No, dude, I have a regular day job that I work 60 hours a week, and I go race and I sell parts on the side and try to go race. Yeah. Like that's literally what's going on here. It's doable,
Yeah, so you tell everybody to go you still got a website, right?
Yeah, Shred
Go to the website and order some fucking gear, bro.
Yeah,
Keep this man on the track.
Yeah. So that's the thing, and we're gonna do. It's gonna right now like it's me, but we're gonna try to make merchandise and help riders get on the track. Like that's my idea. I've always tried to help with shit, dude. Yeah. And I've I started a broken wrench clothing company and it was given back to MotoFam, percentage of every sale. Yeah. So I've always tried to like, I don't know. I feel because that's what this community is about. We all help each other and we do shit like, and that's what we're showing as a V-twin community. We all do it together and we're all about it together. And that's what the BRL is going to show the world.
You know what the dates are for the June one?
June 23rd? No. Dude, I got so many dates in my head going on right now. Oh my God.
No, we can look it up. I'll look it up and actually announce it when I do the
no, because I'm thinking about the 27th, the 26th, 27th, 28th, but that's this month. And let me fucking
I'm going to be coming back home from a road trip to Maine and back. And so if I have 2 weeks before that race, I might be able to probably drive up there. I don't think I could ride back to back like that. Mm-hmm. But just drive up there and probably bring the camera and shit, take pictures, shake some babies, kiss some hands.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because I do want to be there, and especially since the
25th through the 27th. So that's why I was confused because the 26th and 27th, 28th is what we're doing this month. Yeah, so it's the 25th, 26th, 27th of June. Yeah. So
and we can it's just outside of Salt Lake, right?
Yes, I think so.
Yeah, we can get there in a day on a car. So
yeah,
it's right at 1,000 miles from Dallas.
It'll be worth it, dude. It's gonna be dope as fuck. Mm-hmm. Like, dude, it's gonna be.
Rad.
Yeah. we're trying at least, you know what I mean? And
it'll be good.
And everybody and a lot of these companies that are been involved with this community and this the motorcycle world that we're involved in, they're involved in it. Nice. And these guys are all fucking putting in time. That no one's getting like this is all people that are believing in something and fucking going for it. Yeah. And that's the true fucking raw history, like awesome Americanness bullshit going on, to be honest with you. It's like, it's pretty cool, and to be involved with it. I'm so honored and so grateful. And like, just to even get a little bit of here and there and like hear like, hey, this is happening. I'm like, that's fucking rad. Hey, what's up with this? Oh, this is my opinion. Cool. And like, I'm stoked that Shred Moto Co. and myself were even asked to be a part of it. You know what I mean? Because I wasn't number one. I didn't win the race. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? But
you're number one in my eyes.
I try to be, bro. That means a lot. So I appreciate you sitting in my cold ass garage.
Let's go. My nipples are super hard right now.
A whole like 50 degrees in Cali is fucking freezing.
God. I came here in the 1 week. It's raining. It's cold.
Yeah, it's ridiculous.
Yeah, it's all good. Well, hey, I appreciate you doing this, Tony. Thank you,
brother.
Best of luck to you and all these future races. And
thank you.
I'm gonna enjoy watching you. I'm gonna come and see it though. I will.
Hell yeah. Hey, well, if you don't, it's gonna be on TV.
Yeah,
and I'm sure they're gonna be flying drones like 5 feet from my face.
I want to be able to say I was there at the first one.
No, and that's really what people want for the public. They want people to be there. Go there. Because no one was able to be at the last one. You know what I'm saying? Like, no one was able to experience that shit. We're creating something that people are going to get to experience and be a part of. You know what I'm saying? Like, they're talking about having like the biggest vendor village known to man or some shit. You know what
LED
I mean? Like,
lights, leather.
So I don't know, bro. It's it's gonna be a big old fucking show for people that like motorcycle shit and fucking,
Cool. All right, bud. We appreciate it.
Right on, dude.
Thanks, man.
Hell yeah.
Yo, thank you, Tony, for doing that. And if you guys want to check out round 1 of the BRL, the Bagger Racing League, it's June Racing League. What did I say? It's June 25th through the 27th, Salt Lake City, Utah, at Utah Motorsports Complex. There's tickets available February 25th, or since February 25th. Get your pre-sale tickets at baggerracingleague.com. I'm really, really trying my ass off to go to this. It's right before Sturgis, or at least, a month before, so it's always a busy time for us paint-wise, but I'm going to try to make this happen one way or another, and looking forward to seeing the race in person, shooting photos, and experiencing that first event. And as always, I'm rooting for my boy Tony. I want to see him fucking kill it out there. I want to thank you guys for, once again, coming to the Campout, supporting this podcast. We're going to work on some cold snack podcasts to get out this month. It's been a busy ass month, so I apologize for all our Patreon folks that we haven't had a chance to really do anything with that yet. But trust me, we got some shit coming. So yeah, thank you. If you want to support the Patreon, you can do so by checking out our website, fastlifegarage.com. There's a link on the front page, and you can also go to patreon.com/fastlifegarage. And all it takes is $1 a month to get the extra content that we create. And yeah, it's good times. It really is. A lot of good shit on there. So check it out. Support this podcast. Check out our sponsors. And I'm going to see you guys really quick. I might drop another one today. If not, I'm dropping 3 podcasts this week. So it's going down. I'm making up for last week and trying to get you guys some content. So thank you guys, and we'll see you on the next one. All right. Peace.